you have a great trust, it seems, in where the internet can take us. You're basically a very optimistic guy about how individuals can be empowered through the internet. Are there not some very recent reasons that give you pause? I mean, I'm thinking of Bitcoin, for example.
Yeah.
Been trumpeted for the last couple of years as the future of currency. It's pure electronic currency. It's not controlled by a nation state or a reserve bank. It is based on algorithms. It's computerized. It was devised by some brilliant genius in Japan. And yet, it turns out over the last few weeks that the greatest store exchange for Bitcoin has been hacked into, and they've lost millions and millions of dollars of Bitcoins.
That's
and
right.
faith and credibility in this currency has gone through the floor.
Well, I don't believe that that's true. There's still strong price support for Bitcoin right now.
Well, it's more than halved in value, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So if you bought at the top, you're now thinking, I wish I'd never heard of Bitcoin.
Never buy at the top, right? But I mean,
you don't know where the top is. My point is that, you know, you have $1 in your pocket. You're pretty sure that the US government isn't going to go bust. That dollar means something.
Oh, no.
Bitcoin does not have that fundamental guarantee.
So this comes to a critical decision about what is money. You know, is it a social contract backed by a large player or something? And Peter Thiel once told me, you know, the dollar will have value because of guns and oil. That's probably true in like a very practical, immediate, short-term sense. But look, everyone knows that the dollar is in a kind of perpetual free fall. And we have these like expansions of these credit facilities and QE and open market operations. I mean, it's just an instrument to achieve a wealth effect, a domestic policy to get the people happy about the stock market and their jobs and everything. It's an instrument used to kind of beat us over the head. I mean, Bitcoin as a store of value is still extremely valuable. And in the last year alone, right, it did like 56 times in appreciation. Now, I don't want to sell Bitcoin as a way that people can get rich or speculate or something, but digital libertarians are still long Bitcoin. I mean, my company, Defense Distributed, is in Bitcoin. We're working on an anonymity protocol, a tool in the browser called the dark wallet. We've been working on it since like November.
To make exchanges using Bitcoin even more secretive than before.
Exactly.
And you know darn well who is going to want to use that new technology that you're developing.
Money launderers,
free man. Criminals.
Yeah. The free man would want to use it, I think.
The free man?
Yeah, I think so.
The criminal is the ultimate free man.
Well, let's say something. Most human activity, and this is an OECD assertion, right? Most human activity in commerce happens outside of these tablatures of regulation, you know, the all-seeing eye of the state, and will continue to the point where like 2/3 of all human activity by 2020 will be like the black market activity. That's like what just has to get done, what has to happen in this world. Now I want these people to be able to use digital cash. I want them to be able to use it anonymously or as anonymously as possible. And everything else is just a kind of an illusion. Everyone is trying to tell a competing story about the history of technology, their place as subjects to power. Everyone's trying to brush up Bitcoin, put a suit and tie on it, and say like, oh no, it's part of the story of the history of money and of nation states. Well, we're saying no, it represents the fundamental question mark. Will criminals use it? Yes, of course. They use cash too.
The thing is, Bitcoin will never be regulated. When there is a crisis, like there was in the Mt. Gox exchange, when it became clear it had been penetrated, hacked into, there was no way to restore confidence, credibility amongst Bitcoin users because there is no real authority behind that currency.
I've got two things to say about this. I mean, one, thank God that the banks didn't step in or the government step in to say, no, we should make everyone whole in this exchange and stuff. I mean, it was bad technology. It was a bad CEO, a bad company. It should have been destroyed and liquidated. None of the people I know were in Gox. A lot of the people I know were laughing at the people who got owned in Gox. Now, that's not necessarily fair, but we use other exchanges. We keep most of the Bitcoin that we have with ourselves. You know, don't trust someone with your private keys. That happens.